All right, my friends. In these episodes, we're gonna take a more in-depth look at the specific laning matchups and their perspective in terms of what they're doing, and we're gonna try to figure out why they're doing these moves. And I have a few handpicked replays that we're gonna look at, which I think are just very good showcases of you being able to see how they approach the lane, why they did what they're doing, and how that translates into like a lead and small wins in the early game. So in this game, we're going to be looking at Arteezy for starters. And I think in order to understand this, we need to see that his pick is the last one for very specific reasons, because then it makes more sense to understand. They're going to last pick Nature's Prophet on EG, even though it has a fairly bad matchup against TB in terms of the carry matchup. But as you guys all know, Dota is a team game, and it's not just 1v1. So they know that this Nature's Prophet is gonna own Rasta and Brewmaster. The reason why he does that is because they're both horrible at dealing with the hero in the game. Rasta can catch you, but he doesn't deal with your wave clear. Neither of those heroes deal with treants, which is mainly why Nature's Prophet is a good laner, right? The hero is a good laner when he lanes against heroes that can't deal with his treants. And second of all, he has a lot of tempo in this game, but we need to understand that he last picked this hero, and that's why they know that they're going to be so strong, because they understand the pick and they know what they want to do with it. So let's look at the start of the game. Because LGD, as I said already, they're playing a very hard lane with their Brew Rasta into AA Nature's Prophet. It's probably one of the hardest lanes that they can face. So let's look at it from EG's perspective. Arteezy starts with a Blightstone, only one set of regen, and the max amount of stats. This is the most aggressive starting item build that he could go for, right? Like, there's no way. He couldn't get more right-click damage output with less regen than this. So he understands that he wants to pressure from the moment the lane starts. So these guys know that their timing is already before the game begins, right? Like, they know that their level 1 is so much stronger, they want to abuse that. So he lanes with AA, they're two range heroes against Rasta Brew, and as we've stated many times now, they know beforehand that they're stronger. So let's see how they're gonna play when this is their mentality. Their mentality is that they're stronger and they want to own the enemies, because you will see that that is their mindset. So the AA has to walk bottom, so he's a little bit late. But look at Arteezy. He is alone. Mind you, he obviously knows that his AA is late to the lane, right? It's a tournament game and these guys are professional players. So he knows that he could be 1 versus 2 here, and he still dares to do this. Why? Because as I've mentioned, look, this guy has 4 treants, Blightstone, maximum amount of stats, and what can Brew and Rasta do to him? Nothing. They need to kind of respect this. Like, look, the Rasta, he's even top right now. The Rasta is top because he knows he doesn't do anything bottom. So he's trying to offset this by being cute and by being creative. This is not something that goes into, that we have to look at that much right now. But this goes to show you already that LGD were like, okay, this bottom lane is hard. Like, even if they start here as 2, they cannot win it. So they're looking to get a win somewhere else, but they sacrifice a little bit here. And look, this is without Arteezy knowing that the Rasta is not here. Look how aggressive this guy is playing. He's just continuously gonna hit this guy and harass him. Look, now comes AA. And just look, he missed a creep to do this. Because him doing this, it stops the Brewmaster from running to the left and pulling the creeps, which is the only play Faith Beyond actually has in this lane, because he's alone. And if they were 2, the Rasta would have to do it for him. So, look at their aggression. They're just hitting him. They want to burn all his regen, because the more regen you burn, if you burn through people starting regen, they need to send new stuff, right? Which is more gold, which is great. Look, nutrients, hit this guy again. Look, hit him, hit him. These treants are still following the Brewmaster. This Brewmaster has 0 CS. This guy is not playing Dota right now because, well, it's hard for him. So, and at the same time, what is important if you play these type of lanes? Because EG, they're not necessarily playing a lane that will kill this Brewmaster, right? They don't need, they're not gonna kill this guy from 100 to 0. They wanna keep a steady lane positioning and just keep hitting them when they run in to get experience. Whereas if they played some Chaos Knight with AA, they will go for kills all the time. But here it's important that they get as many denies as possible and they just hit them over and over. And if we keep looking at their perspective, look, every time this guy runs in, he's getting hit over and over and over again. Fly, the one thing that LGD could try to do at some point is to sneak in a pull on the side. So Fly, what they value with what I just said is that they want to keep the lane here, right? And always hit the enemies when they run in. Since they want to keep the lane here and not up here, meaning that they don't want to push their lane, this is the reason why Fly blocked this camp. Because if the lane is here and Dire is trying to pull this, the AA will always have to run up here to try and contest it, and it could create like a very bad scenario for the lane. Also, Brewmaster, as we've stated earlier, wants a lot of experience, so he wants this camp to be open. So, you know, it's like they know what they want to do, right? And this is what they're executing. If we look at the CS, it's 6-4 to 3-0, and he sent more regen in the lane. Now look, they understand, okay, we can't lane like this, you know, we need to do something. So the Rasa tries to pull a camp over, but they didn't block the easy camp on the Dire side, which is probably a mistake. Because as you can see now when he tries to pull the creeps, the AA just gets to block it and steal experience. Because these creeps, the Brewmaster really needs them. Because look, Brewmaster one-on-oneing against Nature's Prophet ends up looking like this. It is unlaneable. This guy cannot walk into this lane right now. So here, Arteezy uses his body, uses his hero very well. Push him away. And look, they will hit them all the time. In this lane, they don't even have like this main priority target that they need to go on. They just need to try to slow these two heroes down as much as possible. And it's not even mainly about the gold, it's about the experience. Because as we stated earlier, Brewmaster's timing, it's not level 1, it's not level 2, it's not really level 3 either. The faster he gets to his ult, the more he can pressure. So the more you can delay this, the more you slow down the entire Dire team. So let's keep watching. You know, like, what does this Brewmaster do? He's level 1 at 2.5 minutes. He's used 4 tangles at this point, a salve that he just sent, and more tangles. Look at his net worth. He has less net worth than this AA. And that's all only because they picked a hero that they knew was strong, and then they executed like their strength. And we can just keep watching, you know. Right now, they have way more creeps, so this may allow LGD to play more aggressive. The Brewmaster is going to look to go for a pull again, which is absolutely the right play. If you cannot lane, you need to be creative. You need to find ways to get something done, because you can always get something no matter how hard the lane. If there's a meta where enemies will safe lane, tri lane, and you're solo off lane, you need to find a way to get something done. Whether that's a pull, or you suicide to get lane control, or you freaking go jungle, or you gank your safe lane, something has to be done. This is the best answer that we have in today's Dota, which is to wave pull. It's basically conceding the lane and trying to, you know, turn the lane into some shenanigans where you take the wave here and you go around and do stuff like that. Basically, you are dodging the lane because the enemies are too strong. And this is what's happening here. So when this happens, because right now, depending on which bracket you guys are in, we need to understand how to work around this, right? So if the enemy takes this wave, it's a lot harder to do on Dire than Radiant, but let's just look at this perspective, right? What Arteezy is doing is that he's holding the wave here. Because, well, this wave never appeared, right? So he still wants the Dire creeps to meet his. Because if he lets all of these die in the tower, then this wave that's here right now will run here. And then the Brew can kill all of these and then run to the tower and do this. But this way, sure, the Brewmaster is going to deny some creeps from you and get some himself. But this way, you're also eliminating your creeps from him. So instead of like just losing, it's like both sides are getting some and losing some. So this is kind of how you deal about it. You can either hold the creeps here like Artur is doing, or you pull them behind. So what did the AA do here to abuse this fact? He's going to stack the easy camp because he knows nobody's going to contest him. Rasta is going for the rune. This guy did this pull around, which is probably the best thing he can do. Nature's Prophet, the AA told him to push in the lane a bit because he's going to pull. When you want to pull, you can tell your other guy to push. Here, a lot of creeps getting denied. Brewmaster not happy. And if you just fast forward like through this lane, look, like now he sends Treants on them. They make sure they don't have this camp. Dire understand, like LGD obviously get it that they need this camp, right? So the Rasa brings a sentry later on to open up the camp, and now finally the Dire team do have this camp available. And again, you know, they're gonna keep hitting them. And if we look right now, if we're the Dire team, are we happy? Probably not. I think they could have done slightly better in terms of, you know, how they approach this lane. But if you look at it from EG's perspective, it is near damn flawless in terms of the aggression and like understanding. Here again, he is sacrificing some creeps of his lane to keep shutting down the Brewmaster. Because as you can see here from the TP, he's TPing on top of the Brew instead of TPing into the lane where he can get creeps. Because creeps are not as valuable as ruining your enemy like this, especially on a tempo controlling hero that needs levels. Look, he TPs here, he's gonna stop him from pulling this wave. Another reason why this is so important to do is because it's their siege wave. Faith Beyond is trying to ruin the siege push that they have coming eventually because they're playing Nature's Prophet. They can push this tower, right? Which is a very important timing in Dota, especially in the side lanes. So he gave up a few creeps, ended up killing the Brewmaster, and now the enemy wave push into the tower. So now he can play very aggressive. He has one, that's like 1.5 waves, and now there's another. So now he's gonna keep pressuring, keep hitting him. The AA understands that, you know, his job is done bottom, so now he can maybe go and help someone else. So Arteezy at this point, he's getting close to 6, which means he's likely gonna look to use his ulti somewhere. And they wanna pressure, right? Like he has 1.5 creep waves with a siege. So what does he want to do? He wants to push. And look, this is so beautiful. Like this is, if you watch Dota, this is just absolutely beautiful. They kill the Brewmaster. They know that they have 2 waves, so they're gonna use it aggressively to push the tower. But they know that this is such valuable experience to the Brewmaster, and that they can use this to dive him. Because, I mean, no one can let this go, right? If you're this Brewmaster, you have to be here. There's no way that you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna go AFK because they will kill me. No, you need to take this chance. You need to run in here, try to aggro the wave. But look at them. They know that this push is happening. They know that they want to dive this guy because he's gonna go here. He's so shut down, they wanna keep shutting him down. In the meantime, ISS gets a kill top with the Prophet ulti. Look, this guy shows himself bottom. And even if this doesn't resolve in a kill, it stops the Brewmaster from getting gold, experience, and the tower. Like, look at the aftermath of this kill. I don't know if he ends up dying. It looks like he doesn't, but again, he lost 60% HP, mana, and they got the tower. And this is all from understanding how they should play, how aggressive, when do you need to play aggressive, and like, how can you abuse your enemy? They absolutely abused the weaknesses of their opponents. They blocked the hard camp, which is what they could have done. When they went for a wave pull, they connected it into. When they were stronger at level 1, they played absolutely aggressive. They kept hitting them, forced them to burn regen. And this is like, in terms of high level Dota, this was very crisp and great execution from EG. And this starts before the game with picking your hero, understanding why you're picking it. You know, you don't always have to do that, but if you can slowly make sense of it, that's great. And then understanding, what can my hero do against the enemies? Do I need to play aggressive, passive in order to, you know, reach my goal? Do I need to farm my Ring of Health to get to Vanguard fast, or can I play strong from the beginning? Am I buying Blightstone because I'm stronger? And as you can see from their perspective, it looks easy, but trust me, it comes from doing all these little things, thinking about them consciously, and, you know, trying to make the right decision. And remember, you guys will probably try this and practice this, and it will fail, but that is how you become the best at these things. You will fail, and that's okay. You know, just take a slow approach, and eventually you guys can lane like this. No questions, like absolutely no doubt. We're gonna look at some more replays for you guys interested. Some, you know, different perspectives, some off lane, some ISSI, some Faith Beyond, and, you know, we'll keep exploring it, we'll keep explaining it the best we can, and then hopefully you guys can take some stuff away. And with that said, thank you guys for watching the episode, and I hope you enjoy the content.